Hello, it's great to see you again on the Clever Tricks channel. Have you ever gone to the supermarket, seen bunches of fresh cilantro with vibrant green leaves, tender stems, and an irresistible aroma, and ended up buying far more than you needed? You tell yourself that buying it once will be enough for the whole week, saving both time and money. But after just a few days in the refrigerator, the cilantro begins to turn yellow, become limp, lose its fresh aroma, and may even develop an unpleasant smell, leaving you with no choice but to throw it away, even though it was perfectly fresh when you first bought it. What many people don't realize is that the problem isn't the cilantro itself. It's the way we store it. But don't worry. In today's video, I'll share 4 highly effective methods for storing cilantro that I've been using for many years. Best of all, the 4th method can keep your cilantro fresh for up to 6 months. You'll definitely want to give it a try. Let's get started. When you bring cilantro home, don't rush to put it straight into the refrigerator. First, open the bunch and carefully inspect each sprig. Remove any that have turned yellow, are bruised, slimy, or have an unusual smell. Don't skip this step, because even a few spoiled sprigs left in the bunch can allow moisture and bacteria to spread to the healthy ones, causing the entire bunch to spoil much more quickly and significantly shortening its storage life. I have created subtitles in multiple languages. Please select your preferred language. Comment below and let me know which country you are watching from. It's amazing that we can connect from all around the world. Next, place the cilantro in a bowl of clean water. Since cilantro leaves are very thin and delicate, you shouldn't scrub them vigorously while washing. Simply use your hand to gently swish the cilantro around a few times so the dirt and sand can settle to the bottom. Where are you from? It's such a joy that we're connecting from all over the world. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, hit the subscribe button. Thank you for your support. If the cilantro was purchased from a local market or is particularly dusty, you can soak it in clean water for 3 to 5 minutes, then rinse it once more. One very important point is that after washing, the cilantro must be dried thoroughly. This is the step that many people tend to overlook. If the cilantro is still wet when you place it in the refrigerator or freezer, it can easily become bruised, limp, and develop an unpleasant smell. You can spread the cilantro out on a clean towel or paper towels, then gently pat it dry. Do not rub it vigorously because the leaves are very delicate and can easily be crushed. If you have the time, let the cilantro rest on the towel for about 10 to 15 minutes so any remaining moisture can evaporate. When you touch it and feel that there is no longer much moisture left on the surface, it's ready to be stored. Method 1. Once the cilantro is completely dry and the leaves are fresh and vibrant green, next, prepare a sheet of paper towel and dampen it slightly. The towel only needs to be lightly moist. Do not make it too wet, as excessive moisture can cause the cilantro to become waterlogged and spoil more quickly. Now, divide the cilantro into small bunches, with each bunch being just enough for one meal. This makes it much more convenient because you won't have to take out the entire bunch every time you cook. Then, gently wrap the damp paper towel around the roots or stem ends of each bunch. This is the part that needs the most moisture, helping the cilantro stay hydrated while keeping the leaves dry and fresh. Next, place all of the cilantro into a food storage container and close the lid tightly. Compared with a plastic bag, a storage container helps prevent the cilantro from being crushed and keeps it looking fresh throughout storage. Place the container in the refrigerator. With this method, cilantro can stay fresh for about 1 to 2 weeks. The leaves remain green, the roots don't become slimy, and the cilantro stays fresh without wilting. Whenever you're cooking, simply take out one small bunch. Close the lid again and return the remaining cilantro to the refrigerator. This is not only convenient, but also reduces the cilantro's exposure to air, helping it stay fresh even longer. This is a very simple trick, yet it can help you save a significant amount of money. Every time you open the refrigerator, you'll have fresh cilantro ready to use without having to buy more. This method is especially suitable if your family typically uses cilantro within 1 to 2 weeks. If you'd like to keep your cilantro fresh for an even longer time while preserving its vibrant green color and natural aroma, try this next method. Method 2. First, prepare a sheet of plastic wrap. Place the bunch of cilantro on it and wrap it tightly. As you wrap it, gently press out as much air as possible. This is a small but very important step because the less air the cilantro is exposed to, the more slowly it will wilt and the longer it will stay fresh. Once it is tightly wrapped, place the bundle directly into the refrigerator. If the cilantro was completely dry before wrapping, this method can keep it fresh for up to 2 months. Have you ever tried storing cilantro this way using plastic wrap? Or do you usually just put it in a bag and place it straight into the refrigerator? But when cilantro is in season, it's much more affordable, and you may want to buy a larger amount to use over time. If that's the case, the next method is an ideal choice. Method 3. Once the cilantro has dried completely, trim off the roots. Next, chop the cilantro into the same size you normally use when cooking. This way, when you need it later, you can add it directly to your dishes without any additional preparation. For the first option, place all of the chopped cilantro into a food storage container and close the lid tightly. Then place the container directly into the freezer. This is the method I use most often because it's both quick and convenient. Whenever I cook, I simply open the container, take out the amount I need, and add it directly to the pot. There's no need to thaw it first. The cilantro defrosts very quickly during cooking. It's especially convenient on busy days because having a container of cilantro ready in the freezer saves a lot of preparation time. Where are you from? It's such a joy that we're connecting from all over the world. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, hit the subscribe button. Thank you for your support. For the remaining cilantro, I use another method that's even more convenient. Place the chopped cilantro into an ice cube tray, filling each compartment with just enough for one serving. Next, pour a small amount of water into each compartment. Add only enough water to cover the cilantro. Don't overfill it. Then place the tray in the freezer. After about 1 to 2 hours, the cilantro cubes will be completely frozen. Remove the tray, and you'll see beautifully green cubes, with the cilantro still retaining its fresh color. Pop the cubes out of the tray and transfer them all to a zip-top bag for more organized storage. Each cube is already portioned for a single serving. Whenever you're cooking, simply take out one cube and drop it directly into the pot. The ice will melt very quickly, and the cilantro will be ready to use with almost no additional preparation. There's no need to buy fresh cilantro, wash it, or chop it again. Using these two methods, I can usually store cilantro for about 4 to 6 months while preserving much of its vibrant green color and natural aroma. That's why whenever cilantro is in season and inexpensive, I always make the most of it by preserving it using these two methods. However, if you'd like to keep it fresh for even longer, there's still one more excellent method coming up next. When the water is clean, gently lift the cilantro out and place it in a colander to drain. At this point, you can take a moment to look at the herbs once more. The leaves are still green, still fresh, and their familiar aroma remains intact. Once the cilantro has drained off some of the water, we'll move on to the next step, lightly drying it before dehydrating, so the cilantro powder later will be more fragrant, finer in texture, and able to keep its beautiful green color. You can spread the cilantro out on a clean towel, a cotton cloth, or kitchen paper. Gently arrange the leaves so they are not piled too thickly on top of one another. This helps them dry more evenly and keeps their natural green color. There's no need to wait until the herbs are completely dry. We only need to remove some of the moisture before dehydrating, so that when heat is applied, the herbs won't become soft or change color from trapped steam. Do you usually do this step, or do you put the herbs straight into the dehydrator? If you try this method, you'll notice the herbs dry faster and smell noticeably more fragrant. When the leaves are no longer too wet, feel slightly soft, and have no water sitting on the surface, we're ready for the main step, drying with heat. If you have an oven, spread the cilantro evenly on a tray, making sure the leaves are not piled on top of each other too much. Then place it in the oven at about 160 to 180 degrees Celsius, 320 to 356 degrees Fahrenheit for 10 to 15 minutes. This moderate temperature helps the herbs dry gradually, preserving their gentle green color and natural aroma without burning or turning dark. While waiting, you can open the oven and check occasionally. When the leaves become light, dry, crisp, and crumble easily, they are ready. If you don't have an oven, you can absolutely dry the cilantro in an air fryer. Just place the herbs in the basket, spread them into a thin, even layer, set the temperature to about 140 to 160 degrees Celsius, and dry them for 5 to 10 minutes. During the process, check on them and gently toss them 1 to 2 times so they dry evenly and don't burn. This method is convenient, quick, and fills the kitchen with a wonderfully fragrant aroma. When the leaves are completely dry, light, and crumble easily with a gentle touch, take them out of the air fryer and let them cool naturally before moving on to the next step. Now we have 2 kinds of cilantro, one dried in the oven and one dry roasted in a pan. Let's take a closer look. Oven-dried cilantro usually keeps its original green color better, looking very beautiful and fragrant. It's wonderful. Air fryer dried cilantro is just as dry and crisp, but the color will be slightly darker. Even so, the aroma is still very appealing and pleasant. Once the cilantro is completely dry and fully cooled, we move on to the step many people enjoy, turning the leaves into a light, fragrant, soft, and fine cilantro powder. You only need to gently crumble them with your hands. Little by little, the feeling of the dried leaves breaking apart in your palms is very satisfying, as if you're touching something truly natural. If you prefer a very fine powder, you can grind it more thoroughly. If you like tiny leaf flakes to sprinkle over dishes, leaving it a little coarse also looks very appealing. Do you usually prefer a fine powder or a slightly coarse texture? Each style has its own charm. And of course, you're the one who decides. If you want it even finer, you can also use a dry grinder. When the powder reaches your desired texture, place it into a clean, dry, airtight glass jar. Using a clear jar is also a wonderful choice because each time you open it, you can admire the soft green color of the cilantro powder, a very pleasant feeling in your kitchen. Remember to store the jar in a dry place, away from moisture and direct sunlight. This helps the cilantro powder keep its natural aroma for a long time, making it very convenient for everyday meals. And now for the part many of you are curious about. What can this cilantro powder be used for? You can sprinkle a little over roasted chicken, pan-seared fish, roasted potatoes, or mix it into salads. Just a small amount is enough for its gentle aroma to make the dish more appealing, more beautiful, and feel more complete. And now for the part many of you are curious about. What can this cilantro powder be used for? You can sprinkle a little over roasted chicken, pan-seared fish, roasted potatoes, or mix it into salads. Just a small amount is enough for its gentle aroma to make the dish more appealing, more beautiful, and feel more complete. You can also use this method for many other herbs such as parsley, basil, or dill. Just remember, clean, dry, grind, and store airtight. With just a few simple steps, you'll have a jar of naturally fragrant seasoning ready for everyday meals. If you found this helpful, feel free to leave me a little message. What do you think of the 4 cilantro storage methods I just shared? If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe to support the Clever Tricks channel. Be sure to share this video with your friends and family so they can also learn these simple and effective ways to keep cilantro fresh for longer. Thank you so much for watching. I hope these tips help you reduce food waste and always have fresh cilantro ready whenever you cook. Wishing you great success, and I'll see you in the next Clever Tricks video.